Hey there, future nurses! Welcome to another exciting chapter in your journey to becoming healthcare heroes. Today, we're going to explore a topic that's not only fascinating but also fundamental to understanding human health and disease. So, buckle up and get ready to dive deep into the world of genetics. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of genetics. Genetics is the branch of biology that deals with the study of genes, genetic variation, and heredity in organisms. It's a field that has revolutionized our understanding of life itself. It's the study of genes and how traits are passed down from parents to their children. Have you ever wondered why you have your mother's eyes or your father's hair color, or why certain diseases seem to run in families? The answers lie in your genes. Think of your genes as a set of instructions written in the language of DNA. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is the molecule that carries the genetic instructions used in the growth, development, functioning, and reproduction of all known living organisms and many viruses. These instructions determine everything from your eye color to your risk for certain diseases. For instance, genes can influence whether you might be more susceptible to conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or even certain types of cancer. Genes are like tiny blueprints found inside the nucleus of almost every cell in your body. The nucleus is like the control center of the cell, and it houses these blueprints that guide the cell's activities. Each gene carries a specific code. This code is made up of sequences of nucleotides, which are the building blocks of DNA. These sequences are like letters in a language, and when put together, they form words and sentences that tell the cell what to do. This code tells your cells how to make proteins. Proteins are essential molecules that perform a vast array of functions within organisms, including catalyzing metabolic reactions, replicating DNA, responding to stimuli, and transporting molecules from one location to another. Proteins are the workhorses of your body. They are involved in virtually every process within your cells. Without proteins, your cells wouldn't be able to function properly, and life as we know it wouldn't exist. They do everything from building tissues to fighting off infections. For example, structural proteins like collagen give strength and support to tissues, while antibodies, which are a type of protein, help your immune system fight off pathogens. Understanding how genes work is crucial for nurses. As healthcare providers, having a solid grasp of genetics allows us to better understand the underlying causes of diseases and conditions that our patients may face. It helps us provide better care for our patients. By understanding a patient's genetic makeup, we can tailor treatments and interventions to their specific needs, leading to more effective and personalized healthcare. For example, knowing a patient's family history of certain diseases can help us identify their risk factors. This information is invaluable in preventive medicine, allowing us to take proactive steps to reduce the risk of disease. This allows us to tailor our care and provide early interventions when necessary. Early detection and intervention can make a significant difference in patient outcomes, improving their quality of life and potentially saving lives. So as you continue your studies, remember that understanding genetics is not just about science, it's about providing the best possible care for your future patients. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the human genome. It's like a massive library containing all our genetic information. This information is organized into 23 pairs of chromosomes. We inherit one set of 23 chromosomes from our mother and another set from our father. Think of chromosomes as bookshelves. Each chromosome contains thousands of genes. These genes are like individual books on those shelves. Each gene holds the instructions for building a specific protein. These proteins determine our traits. The human genome is incredibly complex. However, understanding its basic structure is essential for nurses. It helps us understand how genetic disorders occur. For instance, sometimes chromosomes can be damaged or have extra copies. This can lead to conditions like Down syndrome. How do our genes get passed down from one generation to the next? The answer lies in a special type of cell division called meiosis. This process creates sperm and egg cells, also known as gametes. During meiosis, the chromosomes in our cells are shuffled like a deck of cards. This shuffling ensures that each sperm or egg cell receives a unique combination of genes. When a sperm and egg cell unite during fertilization, they create a new individual with a unique set of 46 chromosomes. Meiosis is like a giant genetic lottery. It creates incredible diversity within the human population. This diversity is important for the survival of our species. It makes us more adaptable to changing environments. Section 4. Dominant versus recessive, who wins the genetic lottery? Now let's talk about how different versions of genes called alleles interact with each other. Genes are segments of DNA that carry the instructions for making proteins, which perform a vast array of functions in our bodies. Each gene can have different versions, known as alleles, which can lead to variations in the traits they control. These alleles can be dominant or recessive, and their interaction determines the traits that are expressed in an individual. Some alleles are dominant, meaning they always express their trait even if only one copy is present. For example, if you inherit a dominant allele for brown eyes from one parent and a recessive allele for blue eyes from the other, you will have brown eyes. This is because the dominant allele masks the effect of the recessive allele. Dominant alleles are like the leaders in a group, always taking charge and making their presence known. Other alleles are recessive, meaning they only express their trait if two copies are present. In the case of recessive alleles, both parents must contribute the same recessive allele for the trait to be visible. For instance, blue eyes are a recessive trait, so you need to inherit the blue eye allele from both parents to have blue eyes. Recessive alleles are like the quieter members of a group, only stepping into the spotlight when they are in the majority. Think of it like a game of tug-of-war. In this game, the alleles are the teams pulling on either side of the rope. The outcome of the game determines which trait will be expressed. A dominant allele is like a strong team that always wins, even if the other team is also pulling. This strong team represents the dominant allele's ability to express its trait, regardless of the presence of a different allele on the other side. A recessive allele is like a weaker team that only wins if both teams are pulling on the same side. This means that for a recessive trait to be expressed, both alleles must be recessive, working together to show their effect. Dominant and recessive inheritance patterns are crucial in understanding many genetic disorders. These patterns help us predict the likelihood of an individual inheriting certain traits or conditions, which can be vital for medical and genetic counseling. For example, cystic fibrosis is caused by a recessive allele. This genetic disorder affects the respiratory and digestive systems, leading to severe health issues. Because it is recessive, a person must inherit two copies of the faulty allele, one from each parent, to develop the disease. This means that a person must inherit two copies of the faulty allele, one from each parent, to develop the disease. Understanding these inheritance patterns allows families to assess their genetic risks and make informed decisions about their health and future. Section 5. Genotype and phenotype, from genes to traits. It's time to introduce two important terms, genotype and phenotype. These terms are fundamental in understanding how traits are passed from one generation to the next and how they manifest in individuals. Genotype refers to the actual genes a person carries. These genes are segments of DNA that provide the instructions for making proteins, which in turn play a crucial role in the body's structure and function. Phenotype refers to the physical expression of those genes, or what we can observe. This includes traits like eye color, hair color, height, and even susceptibility to certain diseases. Let's use eye color as an example. Eye color is a trait that is influenced by multiple genes, but for simplicity, we'll focus on one gene with two alleles. The gene for eye color has different alleles, including one for brown eyes, B, and one for blue eyes, B. Alleles are different versions of a gene that can result in variations in the trait they control. If someone has the genotype BB, they have two copies of the brown eye allele. This means they inherited one brown eye allele from each parent. Their phenotype would be brown eyes. This is because the brown eye allele is dominant, meaning it will mask the presence of the blue eye allele if both are present. Understanding the difference between genotype and phenotype is essential for nurses. It allows them to grasp how genetic information can influence patient care and treatment plans. It helps us interpret genetic test results and explain them to patients. For example, a nurse might need to explain why a patient carries a gene for a certain condition, but does not exhibit any symptoms. For instance, a person can carry a gene for a certain disease, genotype, without showing any symptoms, phenotype. This is because some genes require specific conditions to be expressed, or they may be recessive and not show up unless paired with another recessive gene. In summary, understanding genotype and phenotype is crucial in the field of genetics and healthcare. It provides a foundation for interpreting genetic information and applying it to patient care, ultimately leading to better health outcomes. Section 6. When genes blend, polygenic and codominant inheritance. So far, we've mainly looked at traits determined by a single gene. However, many traits are influenced by multiple genes. This is called polygenic inheritance. Think of it like baking a cake. Multiple ingredients like flour, sugar, and eggs contribute to the final product. Similarly, multiple genes contribute to complex traits like height, skin color, and risk for heart disease. Another interesting inheritance pattern is codominance. Here, both alleles are expressed equally. A classic example is the AB blood type. Individuals with this blood type inherit the A allele from one parent and the B allele from the other parent. Both alleles are expressed equally on the surface of their red blood cells.